إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم أما بعد قال تبارك وتعالى بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. Alhamdulillah, my respected brothers, elders, and sisters, those with us physically and those with us virtually, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His blessings upon us. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continuously shower His blessings upon us, both in this life and in the hereafter. Alhamdulillah, we all have these good intentions of always trying to achieve a lot and trying to accomplish a lot in this world, whether it be just in this world alone and becoming successful in this world or becoming successful in the afterlife, and for that matter, for both. So that we always want success both in this life and in the hereafter. And then we always see that sometimes in certain areas we actually accomplish the task and reach the goal that we want, and other times we fall short. And at times, these goals, they could be just in this world and goals in the afterlife. So we have to try to figure out and try to use our intellect to see why that is what it is. Why aren't we successful more? Why is the success rate in doing good deeds, in trying to better ourselves so little, or why do we fall short a lot? And then for other instances, like for example, in accomplishing tasks in this world, we have a higher success rate. For example, finishing school, getting our diplomas, getting our degrees, getting good jobs, becoming successful. The chances of those are a little bit higher for us, for most of us. And then accomplishing things that are simple tasks, Fajr Salat in the morning, reading Quran, so much Quran every day, doing certain good deeds, making sure that we remove acts of jealousy or hatred or any kind of thing that could blind us from our heart. These things in our character become a little bit harder task than something that like the other ones. And they may seem easier. How hard is it to just give a little bit, a few dollars every day for charity for someone that may need it? How hard is it to just be nice and compliment someone instead of looking down on them or saying something bad? They seem much easier to do, but at times they become much more difficult, and we have to figure out why. Because our afterlife depends on it. So one thing that we can do is that we can look at our life and look at just first of all how we structured our life to succeed in this world. 13 years, 40 hours a week, we put all time to graduate high school. After high school, we have the structure that's already set up for us, the system, where the system helps us graduate and get our degrees and become professionals. And then the system's already set that when we go into a job, we just start working and everything's already laid out for us. So there's a whole bunch of systems and structures there to allow us to succeed in this world. But when it comes to deen, there is really no system. And if we don't create that system, we'll have this haphazard way of life, haphazard deeds. One week we may be very virtuous and very pious. The other week we'll fall short in a great deal. And it will just continue to be like that. And hopefully we just say we're playing like a dice with our deed, where the time where the angel of death comes to us, we hope that it's a good week, not a bad week. But we don't want that. We want more of a surety when it comes to our deed. Just like we have that surety in this world, we also want that surety in the afterlife as well. And with that, indeed, it's not as regimen that we have to try to make it as a structure like we have in school and other things, but at least set some guidelines. Set some guidelines that can help us and allow us to be consistent in our deeds. So we look at the Quran. The Quran, mashallah, subhanallah, it's structured in a beautiful way. But at the same time, you look at it, someone who doesn't really read it often will say, well, it's not really structured. It's just random stories, random verses, and such and such. And then other people that read it all the time and have a consistent relationship with the Quran and study it, they'll see the structure within it. It's like, for example, us, when we look at a natural disaster, an earthquake happens, we think some people may think it's something that's just random, haphazard earthquake. Whereas other people, whether they're geologists or scientists, they say that, no, it's happening because of a certain situation, the plate tectonic moving, and it's actually a structure there. So at the same time, we can do that same thing with our deen, and the Quran shows us how to do that. Where it starts with Surah Fatiha, a very simple surah that we all read constantly over and over. Now, and then it starts with longer surah, then it goes to ends with all the way to the end where it goes to shorter surah. And we're just going to take that basic principle right there to try to set some guidelines when it comes to us doing good deed. And the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said that when you wake up for tahajjud, before praying a long 2 rakats, pray 2 short rakats. Just pray 2 short rakats. Then, if you can, pray longer. And if you can't, then at least you pray those 2 short rakats. And this is the perfect way to start our lives or our good deeds in a structured way. That in everything I do, sometimes we think so hard, like, oh no, if I do this, how am I going to do this every day? How am I going to do that? Just start with something simple. Start with something simple. If you want to start giving charity, start with something simple. Don't try to say, okay, I want to build a masjid. If you can, alhamdulillah, go for it. But if you can't, say, okay, you know what? Why don't I give a certain amount every month or every week that I'll just give from my pocket as charity? And that in itself will build a quality within you that when you get a chance to do a great amount of deed, all of a sudden you can stand up like Surah Al-Baqarah and do all that. And at other times, you may not be able to, so you'll still give, but you'll give that amount and it'll be consistent with your life. Same thing with Salat, same thing with reading Quran. One scholar, he said, you know, if you want to read Quran, make Khutba Quran, we have 5-time daily prayers. And these are beautiful points in our day that we can structure our deeds around. He said, go read 30 minutes before Salat and 30 minutes after Salat. 1 juz of Quran. And roughly, if you become good at reciting, it takes about 30 minutes to recite 1 juz of Quran. So he said, if you do that every day, you're finishing 10 juz of Quran, you're making Khutba Quran every 3 days. But take it smaller than that. Say you can't do that. Do 15 minutes or just attach 30 minutes to every salah. That's still 2.5 juz of Quran every salah, and you're finishing within a week. So really, it's all about structure and guidelines. Now, you might not be able to do it every single time. That's fine. Let's say you've been doing it 5 times a day, 5 times a day, you're doing it. All of a sudden, you went to Allah, you couldn't do it one time. That doesn't destroy your structure, but you still have guidelines for it. And you can still continue with that. And the next time, and you'll still make it a Khutbah Quran, but once in a while you'll be a day late or 2 days late. So in all of our deeds, set some guidelines to make sure that you always stay consistent with it by making some small amount to say, this is definitely a definite that I have to do every single day or every single month or every single week. And others, people in the past, righteous people in the past, they were right in the beginning. Okay, how much am I making? A third goes here, a third goes here, and a third goes here. A third of it will go for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A third of it will stay within their business to take so that it can flourish. And a third of it goes to their family. And with that, they become rich people because they set it up and they get the blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as well as always putting it in the right amount. But at times, the way we just haphazardly spend, we could have a great debt and we don't even know why. So this is a simple way that just looking at the Quran and saying, okay, I can build it's not a structure, a guideline to the same way that we can succeed in this world, we can also succeed in our good deeds afterward. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for all of us, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us all of our shortcomings. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. أما بعد قال تبارك وتعالى بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اشرح صدورنا للإسلام. اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان. اللهم اجعلنا من الراشدين. اللهم اجعلنا من الراشدين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروا الله يذكركم واشكروه ولا تكفروه. أقيموا الصلاة. Inshallah, we have a guest party with us today, so Qari Shamsuddin will be leading the party prayer for us, inshallah. الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. لقد جاءكم رسول من أنفسكم عزيز عليه ما عنتم حريص عليكم بالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم. فإن تولوا فقل حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر.
سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Just a quick couple of du'as. We'll leave the announcements for the emails if anybody needs one. For anybody that's leaving right away, our dear brother from this community, Hussein Samadi, he passed away last Friday. May Allah have mercy on him. We'll make dua for him. But his family brought some sadaqah for food. They brought some food for anybody that wants their gyros. It's over there in the box. If you could go pick one up for yourself, if you want one. If you wish to have more, you can wait. And if there's more left over after everyone's done, you're more than welcome to grab more than one. But in the beginning, just please grab one. The boxes are right there on your way out if you wish one. We'll make dua for him as well. The other one is Brother Asghar Hussain, the father of Najam Asghar. He also passed away in Pakistan recently. So we'll make dua for both number of quotes. And the last one that we're going to make dua for is Hashmatullah. He's gone through a very serious sickness to dialysis. We'll make dua for Shifa real quick, inshallah. اللهم انا نسالك من ذلك الحمد لا اله الا انت بديع السماوات والارض ذا الجلال والاكرام يا حي يا قيوم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. وبارك على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الاحياء منهم والاموات برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين. اللهم اغفر موتانا وموتى المسلمين. اللهم اغفر موتانا وموتى المسلمين. اللهم اغفر اصغر حسين وحسين صمد يا رحمن يا رحيم. اللهم اغفر لهما ذنوبهما وكفر عنهما سيئاتهما وادخلهما الجنه الفردوس برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين. اللهم ان كانا محسنين فزدهما في احسانهما وان كانوا مسيئين فتجاوز عن سيئاتهما. اللهم ارحمهما في القبر وارحمهما يوم الحشر وادخلهما الجنه الفردوس برحمتك يا ارحم الراحمين. اللهم اشف موتانا اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم اشف حشمة الله يا رحمن يا رحيم. اللهم رب الناس اكتب الباس انت الشافي لا شفاء الا شفاءك شفاء لا يغادر سقما. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزه عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. One announcement I do want to make that you guys can just listen to on your way out is we are doing other programs. One of them, I see that there's a lot of youth and a lot of people, they have individuals, they have a lot of questions. Please go to our website, nmccsandiego.org. There's a tab that you can go to Ask the Imam or Q&A with the Imam, and you can submit a question. It's completely anonymous. I want them to email any information from you, and then we'll answer those on Thursday night on a live stream, inshallah, between Maghrib and Isha. So if there's no questions, we won't have it, but if there are questions, then we'll have the live stream, inshallah. And you can also join the live stream as well, and through that you can also ask questions live on the chat. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.